Good morning, everyone. Our topic for today is Classify Quadrilaterals, Lesson 16-3. And you will find this lesson on page 833 up to page 836 from your book. Here are the learning objectives for today's lesson. You're going to classify quadrilaterals by lines and angles and solve mathematical practices and problem solving with speed and accuracy. Let's analyze this problem. Draw three different four-sided shapes that have opposite sides parallel and solve this problem any way you choose. So you can generalize and use what you know about parallel lines and angles to draw quadrilaterals. So you're going to show your work on this page below. So now let's analyze these two works, okay, from Gabriel's work and Tyler's work. Gabrielle draws different kinds or different types of quadrilaterals and includes an explanation of her shapes. So the first shape, he said that the quadrilateral does not have a square corner. The second shape, the quadrilateral has opposite sides that are parallel and sides that are not parallel. These are parallel, the first pair of parallel sides, and these are not parallel. When we say parallel, it means the lines never intersect, okay, never cross or never meet, even you extend it, okay? But when we say non-parallel sides, it means when you extend the line, they will meet or they will cross or they will intersect. So based on this quadrilateral, there is one parallel side and the other parallel side, or the other lines, pair of lines are not parallel, okay? And there's another given, which is an example of quadrilateral also, and it has four square corners, or it has square corners, okay? So that is for Gabriel's work. So what do you call for these quadrilaterals? Later we will discuss, okay? So Tyler's work, Tyler's draws different quadrilaterals, but they are all parallelogram. When we say parallelogram, it means there are two pairs of parallel sides. Now, let's talk about quadrilaterals. When we say quadrilaterals, it can be classified by their angles or the line segment that make their sides. So which of the following quadrilaterals shown only one pair of parallel sides and which have two pairs of parallel sides? Again, when we say quadrilateral, means any four-sided shape, okay, having four sides or having four angles, that is what we call quadrilateral. Now, the first example of quadrilateral is what we call a parallelogram. So this is an example of parallelogram. When we say parallelogram, it means has two pairs of parallel sides. So this is the first pair of parallel side. Parallel lines looks like this, okay? So those are the two pairs of parallel side, and the other pairs of parallel side is this, okay? So that is another pair. That's why if there are two pairs of parallel side, that is considered as a parallelogram. Rectangle. Rectangle, when we say rectangle, has four right angles. So this is the first angle, second right angle, third right angle, and fourth right angles. It also a parallelogram. Why? When we say parallelogram, two pairs of parallel sides. So this is the first pair of parallel sides, and this is the second pair of parallel sides. That's why a rectangle is a parallelogram and also a quadrilateral. Okay, and a parallelogram is a quadrilateral. Now, square. When we say square, it means has four right angles just like a rectangle. Okay, all sides are the same and it is a parallelogram, rectangle, and rhombus. Why square is a parallelogram? Because when we say parallelogram, it has two pair of parallel sides. So this is the first pair of parallel sides, the second pair of parallel sides. Now, why square is a rectangle? Because square has four right angles, rectangle has four right angles. Square is a parallelogram and rectangle is a parallelogram. Square is a quadrilateral and rectangle is a quadrilateral. Only the difference is the measurement of the length. Okay, that's why square is considered as a special rectangle. Okay, now why square is a rhombus? What do you mean by rhombus? When we say rhombus, quadrilateral that has opposite sides that are parallel and all of its sides have the same length. So when we go back to the meaning of square, square have the same length, also a parallelogram. So it means square is also a rhombus, okay, based on their properties. Trapezoid is a quadrilateral with only one pair of parallel sides. So this is only one pair of parallel sides. Why this side is not parallel? Because if I'm going to extend the line, they will meet, they will intersect, or they will cross. So it means they are not parallel. So trapezoid have only one pair, okay, of parallel sides, but parallelograms, rectangle, square, and rhombuses are all having two pairs of parallel sides. Now, to make you understand easily, okay, this is another example before we proceed to the family tree or the hierarchy of classification of quadrilaterals. Perpendicular sides from right angles can a trapezoid have perpendicular sides? Okay, so a trapezoid can have two right angles, possible, right? So this is the first right angle, the second right angle that form perpendicular side, okay? So this is one perpendicular side. A trapezoid with two right angles is also called a right trapezoid. So it means right trapezoid is a family of trapezoid and a family of quadrilateral because it has four angles and four sides. Now, make you understand easily the classification of quadrilaterals, this is what we call a family tree, okay, or a family of quadrilaterals. So I will cross out this one because this is not included from your book, okay. So kite, there is one question from your book, but I will discuss to you what they mean by kite. Okay, quadrilaterals. To wrap up, when we say quadrilaterals means any polygon having four sides. Okay, so side 1, side 2, side 3, side 4. Another meaning of quadrilateral is having four angles. Angle 1, angle 2, angle 3, and angle 4, regardless of its measurement. As long as having four sides and four angles, that is quadrilateral. That's why parallelogram is a quadrilateral, rectangle is a quadrilateral, rhombus is a quadrilateral, square is a quadrilateral, trapezoid is a quadrilateral, and kite is also a quadrilateral. Why? What is the property of quadrilateral? All of these are having four sides and four angles. Okay, so that is the family of quadrilateral. Now, let's proceed to parallelogram. Parallelogram means two pairs of parallel sides. This is the first pair of parallel sides, and this is the second pair of parallel sides. When we say parallel, it means the line will not intersect, never cross, or never meet. Okay, so parallelogram. So parallelogram is a family of quadrilateral. Okay, because it has four sides and four angles. But parallelogram is not a rectangle, parallelogram is not a rhombus, parallelogram is not a square. Okay, so now let's proceed to the next one. The next one is a rectangle. Okay, rectangle is a family of parallelogram. Okay, so rectangle is a parallelogram and rectangle is also a quadrilateral. Why rectangle is a parallelogram? Because when we say parallelogram, it means two parallel sides. And why rectangle is a quadrilateral? Because having four sides regardless of its measurement and four angles. Okay? Now, let's proceed to rhombus. Rhombus is a parallelogram and rhombus is also a quadrilateral. Why? Because rhombus having two pairs of parallel sides. That is the first one and that is the second one. That's why rhombus is a parallelogram. Now, rhombus is a quadrilateral because there are four sides and four angles. Next is we have a square. A square is a special rectangle. Why? Because they are having both four right angles and they are both parallelogram and they are both quadrilateral. Okay? Only the difference of rectangle and square is square all sides are equal but rectangle sides are not equal. Okay? Only the two parallel sides. Okay? So, square is also a rhombus. Why? Because rhombus and square having four sides and four angles, that's why they are both quadrilateral. Rhombus and square having all sides are equal. That's why square is a rhombus, but rhombus is not a square. Okay, kite. When we say kite, it means no sides parallel. Okay, kite is only a family of quadrilateral because there are four sides and four angles. Trapezoid, there is only one parallel side. Okay, this and this side are not parallel because if I'm going to extend the line, they will meet, they intersect, and they cross. That's why there is only one parallel side. So trapezoid is only a family of quadrilateral. Now, what is the difference between parallelogram and trapezoid? Parallelogram having two pairs of parallel side, but trapezoid has only one pair of parallel side. Okay? Now, let's answer the following. What is true about all quadrilaterals? They all have four sides and four angles. What is the difference between a square and a rhombus? A square always has four right angles and a rhombus does not always have four right angles. Now, question number 3. Shane drew a quadrilateral with at least two right angles and at least one pair of parallel sides. Name 3 quadrilaterals Shane could have drawn. So what are the possible answers? So it should be rectangle, okay, square, and trapezoid. So those are the possible answers based on that given statement. Now, number 4. Write all the names possible for each quadrilateral. In order you to identify or classify the quadrilateral, you must first identify the specific name of this quadrilateral. So this is what we call rectangle. So rectangle is family of what? Family of parallelogram and also a quadrilateral. That's why the answer is a rectangle, parallelogram, and quadrilateral. Okay, so as you can see from the family tree going up, okay, so from rectangle, family of parallelogram, and family of quadrilateral. Okay, so let's proceed. Okay, so what kind of quadrilateral is this? So this is considered as quadrilateral because having four sides and four angles, and this is what we call parallelogram. And parallelogram is a family of quadrilaterals. Why parallelogram? Because there are two sides parallel. Okay? Next, this is a square. A square is a rectangle. A square is a rhombus. A square is a parallelogram. And a square is a quadrilateral. That's why quadrilateral, parallelogram, rectangle, square, and rhombus are all the names possible for this given quadrilateral. This is what we call a kite. So kite is only a family of quadrilateral. Okay, next, write all the names possible for each quadrilateral. So number 8 is what we call a quadrilateral and parallelogram. Number 9 is quadrilateral, a parallelogram, and a rhombus. Okay, to give you a recap, when we say quadrilateral means four sides, having four sides and four angles. Parallelogram, two sides are parallel. So this is parallel, these sides are parallel. Rhombus, because it has four sides equal, okay, but not having a right angle. Okay, next, this one. So number 9 and number 10 are almost the same. So that is a quadrilateral, is a parallelogram, and also a rhombus. Number 11, so that is a rectangle, and rectangle is a family of parallelogram and a family of quadrilaterals. Okay, now let's proceed to the mathematical practices and problem solving. Question number 12. Jamie swims at the swimming pool. The length of the pool is 25 yards. She swam a total of 150 yards. How many times did she swim the length of the pool? Use the bar diagram to write and solve an equation to find the answer. So as you can see, this is the bar diagram. The total number of yards, okay, she swam is equivalent to 150 yards. Okay, then yards per swim is equivalent to 25. So how many 25 to complete 150? It means what number to be multiplied by 25 to make it 150. So 25 multiplied by 6, that is equivalent to 150 yards. That's why the answer is 6 times. There is another way to find the answer. You just simply divide 150 divided by 25 and the answer is 6. Or you just simply add 25 plus 25 plus 25 plus 25. How many times you added 25 in order to complete 150? That is also 6 times. Question number 13. He says every square is a rectangle and every square is a rhombus. So every rectangle must be a rhombus. Do you agree? So the answer must be no. Why? And a rectangle that has two pair of sides of different length is not a rhombus, because rhombus, all sides are equal. Okay, so every rectangle must not be a rhombus. Okay, next, number 14. Is it possible for a quadrilateral to be both a rhombus and a parallelogram? Yes, because a rhombus is a specific type of parallelogram. Okay, and a rhombus is a family of parallelogram. Next, number 15. What number comes next in the pattern? The rule is multiply the position number by itself. The position, this is the first, the second, the third, the fourth, and the fifth. So we multiply by itself. So the first means 1 times 1. That is equivalent to 1. The 4 means the second, means 2 times 2. 9 is on the third, it means 3 times 3. And 16 is on the fourth, it means 4 times 4. And the next one is on the fifth, it means 5 times 5. So what is 5 times 5? The answer is equivalent to 25. So the pattern is odd, then even, then odd, and so on. Okay? Next, number 16. All the sides of an equilateral triangle are the same length. Is an equilateral triangle also a rhombus? Absolutely not. Why? Because an equilateral triangle only has 3 sides. So it is not a quadrilateral. Because when we say quadrilateral, it means having 4 sides and angles. So a rhombus is a quadrilateral, not an equilateral triangle. Next. Next, number 17. Could you use the formula for finding the perimeter of a square to find the perimeter of another quadrilateral? Explain. So the formula for perimeter of a square is perimeter is equivalent to 4 times side, or 4 times s. So the answer is yes. Why? You could use 4 times the variable n to find the perimeter of a rhombus. So because all rhombuses have 4 sides of equal length. Number 18, Dan draws the shape shown at the right. He says the shape can be classified as a quadrilateral. Yes, it is a quadrilateral because all having 4 sides and 4 angles. So that's right. How about trapezoid? Yes, it is a trapezoid because there is one parallel side. Okay, this is not a parallel. Okay, because if I'm going to continue the line, they will intersect, they cross, or they meet. Okay. How about parallelogram? Parallelogram is not. Why? Because when we say parallelogram, it means two pairs of parallel sides. So since we have only one pair of parallel sides, so this quadrilateral is not a parallelogram. So Ben is not correct. Why? Because the shape Dan drew is a quadrilateral and a trapezoid only, but cannot be a parallelogram because it does not have two pairs of parallel sides. Okay, so that's it. Thank you so much and have a nice day.